Page 326, the shepherd pipes. I go through the process anyway, I use anyway. I look it over, it's 3 lines long. Treble and bass clef to start, at least. No sharps or flats in the key signature, so you're thinking C major or A minor. But if you look at it, it's here. That's neither. So it must be in a mode. So what mode is it in? Well, I look over, and for the most part, it's all white keys, and it's here in Dorian mode. So, now, in the second, or measure 6, it is, they give you B flats. Well, that would be D minor. D minor has B flats. Yeah. So is it D minor? Don't care. Just go ahead and do the scales and arpeggios for the key signature. C major and A minor. Just stick with those. I have videos on them, and I'm assuming you know how much of the video to do because I've only been parking about it throughout the whole book. You know, you do the beginner part to learn it. And then once you're comfortable with it for that 1 octave, then you go to the 2 octaves. And in this book, I don't recommend going beyond 2 octaves. We'll save the advanced stuff for the next book. And 4/4 time signatures. So let's take it one hand at a time. Again, I want a fingering that allows me to connect the notes because we are moving around a little bit here. Starting here. It's 1, 2. Thumb comes down. We just change hand position. So, and they want 2 again. I don't think so. I mean, the articulation allows it because you got to lift up, and you can lift up and move at the same time. I think that's a poor fingering. I don't recommend it. So for the 3rd measure, since I'm here, I'm going to reach up a little bit and use little finger on the first A. I got 2 A's. I changed hand position on repeated notes. So A here, and then 2. So I'm going to do a 5-2 on the 3rd measure. So that way I can go on. And then in measure 5, they want the thumb. That's because we need to be in this position, so we got to come up. And then just cross over there. Like so. That's fine. Now, I'd like to show you something else about fingering. You don't have to do this. You can use the fingering in the book. It works. But style of fingering that I use and teach is I don't cross over the thumb if I don't have to. I don't mind crossing over the thumb because the arpeggio videos, the doing arpeggios, teaches me to do that. But in that second line, I don't have to cross over the thumb between measures 6 and 7. I don't have to do that. I can crawl my way around and lower the hand gradually. So starting measure 5, measure 6, rather than 3rd finger, I'm going to scratch up his little finger. I just changed hand positions. Here. Now you can come here and scratch up his 4. See, I didn't cross over the thumb at all. Here. So again. That's the way of doing it. As I said, though, you can use the fingering in the book if you'd rather. I'll probably use the fingering I just suggested because that's how I typically would finger things. Now, measure 9. You'll notice at the end of the second line, they give you a bass clef in the upper staff. They're telling you beforehand, look out. And at measure 9, sure enough, it's bass clef. So this is down here. So how do I get from here to here? Because I'm here. To here, yuck. Again, the articulation allows it because you got to lift up. However, I would like to make this a little less cumbersome, hard. So I'm going to take advantage of those repeated notes in measure 8. I'm going to change hand positions there. So I can 5th finger on the last one. How I get there, I don't care. I can go, what is it, 2, 5. I can do 2, 3, 5. I don't care. I do a 2, 5, 5. The point is I'm there. And then here, now I can just go ahead and use thumb and crunch up 4 again. So I just connected it all. So starting on measure 7, we're here. 5. Now it's thumb. that's what I would recommend. See, a lot of these books, when you're just getting started, they keep you in a nice, neat 5-finger position for the most part. That's handy when the music is in just one position. But when you're starting to move around, you're going to get out of that. I mean, you'll always have a 5-finger position sometimes, but still you're going to get out of that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm crawling around. I'm walking around on the keyboard here. Do that a lot. Now, that last measure, we don't have a choice because you're down here. When you make treble clef, you got to come up here. Well, I can't connect that. That's silly. So you can sort of prepare it by playing the last D down there with thumb. That way your hand's a little closer rather than down here. Your hand's here, but for thumb, I can get hand here. I don't have quite as far to go, but you're still going to have to lift up here. So on this one, you got to look down at the keyboard. Otherwise, you could probably play this piece without looking at the keyboard. But here, you got to come up here. You just lift up and move. Yeah. The pedal will help, but right now, we want the hands and fingers to do it. Left hand, let's see what it's up to. Looks like a bunch of whole notes for the most part, and it's a D and an A. And it's tied forever, and then again forever, and again forever. Oh, good Lord, that's all we're doing. Last line, last 2 measures. Oh, half notes. That's different. And then you get treble clef. So now you got to come up here. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You just lift up and move. Okay, you might have to practice that because the notes got to go down at the same time. Good luck with that. Just lowering the hand down. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't stiffen up. Oh. Then I tried to put the hands together. Well, there's not a lot to do them here because the left hand's not doing anything. Yeah, until the last line. So starting in where measure 8, we're here. Then going on, we're here. Now the right hand's tied. You just play the left hand. Now both hands got to move. Oh, goody. That's a trick to get both hands to move. And you're going a long way. And you got 4 notes to play correctly and at the same time. Piece of cake. So you may have to practice here. Get them here first, just an instant. Get them there and then push down. Don't get them there and push down at the same time. Don't. Good luck. Get them there. Try and get there so you're there just an instant before you push down, so you can make sure they're right where. You only need a moment, just a fraction of a second to do that, to make sure the fingers are on the right keys, and then push down. Yeah, that's going to take some practice. And again, the pedal will help, but we want to do this without pedal first to make sure the fingers are doing this. Here. As best we can. Now, once I have that, then I go back through it slowly and carefully and get rid of the hesitations. Now, once I have the hesitations under control, I'll do the articulation. Here, again, we're phrases. Lift up. You can lift up both hands here because you got to play the same notes in the left hand, so you got to lift up. Otherwise, I tell you to connect the left hand, but here, just both hands. Up. So I'm lifting up for the phrasing is all. Then the dynamics, it starts out P, piano is soft, that's the melody. That's the right hand. So whatever you think soft is, not super soft, this real soft, very, because when you're down here, it'll get loud by itself. So you got to adjust and make it really soft. We want to hear this, and I'm playing this soft. Measures 3 and 4, you got the swell going up and back down. Look in the middle of the swell. Let that out. Those 2 notes, that's sort of the loudest part. That's your target. You go to there and then come back down. See, and the measure 5, you start soft. Now the swell's long one. How loud you're getting here is up to you. It's an interpretation, but I don't know that you really want to get loud in this piece. So maybe just go up to about a moderately soft or a moderately loud. Don't get loud. Here, it's soft. You can plan it out. As you're crescendoing measures 5 and 6, you're not going to do it on every note. you might just do every groups of notes or a measure. So I could just be soft, a little louder, louder. That's like every 2 notes. I just got a little bit louder. That's all. Then measure 9. Now you're very soft in the right hand and super duper soft in the left. There's a retard on note to slow down. Very soft. In the next to the last measure, while I'm playing this, I want to hear that, and that's soft, very soft. And then you have a hairpin to go down to even softer than that. How soft can you play it? Well, this is something you practice when you're doing the scales and arpeggios. Scales and arpeggios, I can't talk because of the coffee. How soft can you play them? Now, don't use a soft pedal, that's cheating. How soft? We want to develop the feel and the control over the hands and fingers. You just let the wrist collapse a little bit. You're stroking the keys. You're just coming down. See, when you go straight down, the keys go down at a certain speed. But if you can do this, the downward motion of the key is slower. And the slower the motion, the softer the sound. And on an acoustic piano, I can get it so slow, they don't even sound. Well, that's too slow. So you got to have a little bit of speed there, but not much. Very light, just stroke it. You're just stroking the keys, just gently. And get all 4 notes down at the same time. Piece of cake? Yeah. Now once I have the dynamics sort of under control, and it's really better if you can feel these dynamics, then I'll think about the speed. And they say gently. Well, that's a lot of help. Whatever you feel this melody is gently. Probably about an andante feeling. Don't drag it, because on piano it's too percussive. It doesn't work. Yeah, works better on a wind instrument or violin or something, and you play that slowly because they can sustain the sound. A piano, you play it and it dies away. You play it, it dies away. So you can't go too slow here. But it's not slow, but sort of slow. Well, it makes no sense at all, but that's music for you. What do you expect? Then they want you to retardando on measure 10, which is going to slow it down. Now it's going to start dragging. But don't drag too much, because then everybody's thinking, is this ever going to end? You know, I'm bored. Do something else or something. So you're going to slow down some. You have to feel about how much. Don't slow down a lot. Maybe it's like in measure 10, I'm not slowing down yet. I'm here. I can slow down. And then these, I don't know that I'd slow down anymore here, because they're already half notes and whole notes. So the notation is giving the effect of slowing down. And when the notation gives the effect of slowing down, you don't have to actually slow down so much. The music's doing it for you. It's a judgment call. It's interpretation. Speaking of interpretations, what about the natural accents? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm exaggerating so you can hear them better, but you just feel these natural accents all the way through. Now they've added pedal. Isn't that nice? We sort of need pedal at the end, but I have problems with the pedal because it changes the tone so much. We have to be aware of that. And is that really the change we want? Is that the effect we want? I don't know. Well, we'll start with doing what they're asking us to do that way, and then we'll decide if we want to adjust that or not, because these pedal indications are just suggestions. The pedal indications, or the pedaling I tell you, is just a suggestion. So the last 2 measures, I'm going to put the notes down first and then the pedal. So in this left hand, I'm going to start those notes before I pedal. So let's start with the, well, measure 9. You're here. I'm going to push the notes down in the left hand, then the pedal. I'm going to leave the pedal down. Now, see, that gives you a little more time to move. And then at the end, when you're done, the pedal and the hands all come up together. Yeah. Yuck. I don't like that effect. So let's see what we can do with it. Now, the starting of it is fine because you're here and then you're here. It's the end of it. I don't like suddenly it just stops. Well, we've died away. We want to continue to die away. I don't want it to go and then suddenly, it's like an accent when you do that. See, boom. Oh. So what we do is we do that fade out pedal thingy. probably a name for it. I don't know what it is. Don't care. I call it fade out pedal because it fades out. And that's where you lift the pedal slowly. Lift the pedal. That lets the dampers slowly touch the strings, and that sound slowly dies away. So the last two measures, here, and then at the end, when you're ready, you lift the keys up. Keep the hands on the keys. Just lift the keys up. You're not pushing them down anymore. And then you slowly lift the pedal. And the sound slowly dies away. If you get buzzing, and you need a tuner technician to check your dampers, they should not buzz when you do this. Something's wrong. But you can do that, Jim. Yeah. On an electronic keyboard, some do, some don't. You have to test it. If your pedal won't do that on an electronic piano, you simply reach up to the volume control and slowly turn it down. It doesn't matter how you get this effect. Just get the effect. The fermata in the last measure, I mean, that's a hold. You hold it out however long you feel it. If I do it with a metronome, I just double it because I got to stay with a metronome. So I would hold that for 8 counts instead of 4. But when you're playing it, you just feel it and let that die away, slowly die away. And hopefully nobody's snoring because it's such a boring piece. It's kind of pretty though. Let's play this together very slowly, well, slow anyway, and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. We're not performing it. We're doing notes and rhythms. I will do the pedaling so you can see it. Not that you need it, but okay. I'll give us 4 counts. Now, make sure your foot's on the pedal at the beginning. If you're going to use a pedal anywhere in the piece, you put your foot on the pedal for the whole piece. Don't put the foot on and take it off the pedal. There's no dancing going on here. Your foot is in one spot for the whole thing. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 4. 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Off.